I feel like in today's social media culture, the self-improvement, side of it is constantly telling people to fall in love with the process, right? We have all heard this before. And that meaning you should find joy in the daily work, the little things, and not just the end goal or the vision that you have. Now, on the surface, that sounds really good and really awesome, right? The motivation behind that, fall in love with the process. But to me, I notice there's a problem with how the message is coming across. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I hope everyone is having a great day today. If not, this video might just turn your day around. Today's topic, well, it's going to be a far out one, I guess, and it's going to be about the self-improvement culture. Now, let's just get into it, I guess. So I think the self-improvement culture on social media is great, right? Everyone say fall in love with the process, and obviously all these people that are saying it, they've already achieved their goal or they're close to achieving it. I feel like most, I guess you can call them gurus or uh, famous people tell you to fall in love with the process. Well, that's because the reason why they're telling you that is that's because they've been through it. They've been through the thick and thin of what they done to get there. For example, becoming, influencer. You have to stay consistent. You have to post good content. And if you're wanting to become like that, you're gonna have to go through a lot of ups and downs, I feel like. Obviously, I'm kind of going through that right now, but obviously, I do want to be this channel. It's going to be influence on some people, hopefully, but for me, it's just a way to see my growth. Anyways, so I get why these gurus say it because I know kind of from my own experience when you become good at something, when you see progress or when you see improvement, you realize, man, that process or that learning experience all the way up to that point was fun and enjoyable and I wish I could go back. Now, obviously, it's not going to be like that for everyone. Everyone's going to have a different learning experiences and everyone's going to have a different, I guess, sense of enjoyment in that process, right? But usually the enjoyment of the process, it tends to come after you've built competence in it, right? After you become, I guess, a great influencer, it's easy to tell the next guy sitting on the couch to say, hey, just enjoy that process, enjoy getting there, right? And obviously, you see this with most billionaires or millionaires. They get all that money, but then they realize, man, I really enjoyed that grind. I really enjoyed that process. Now, obviously, you might be thinking right now, well, I don't want to go through that process. Well, if you want to get somewhere, you're gonna have to go through you have to give something up. I'm not gonna say you're gonna have to suffer, but you're gonna have to give something up, right? Whether that's time, whether that's a hobby, whether that's something, right? And then you also might think that when you're told to enjoy this process and you're not to where you want to be yet, you might think you lack discipline or passion. Now, obviously, if you're not doing it consistently and not, feeling it in your heart, then maybe it's one of those. But if you feel both of them, then maybe you just haven't done it long enough. And keep this in mind. It takes time, it takes a different amount of time for everyone, right? I know there's a saying out there that we all have the same 24 hours, right? And it's really easy to compare yourself to the next guy. I've done it before. I've been doing it a lot in my life, right? Now, what I say is don't do that. Now, obviously, it's very, very hard not to compare yourself, right? Because social media is out there, Instagram's out there, pretty much your parents, the news, everyone's out there, right? But if you this comparison is the thief of joy. I know I've said this before, but it's true. You got to stop comparing yourself. Now that's hard. I know a lot of people, some of my friends have to isolate themselves, like delete TikTok or delete Instagram or Snapchat, just so that they can get homework done. That to me is crazy. But anyways, if social media and Instagram, if you have like I don't know 8+ hours on one of them a day, you should rethink your time, refocus your time into something else, right? Anyways, let's get back on topic. So when you're told, I want you to think about this. When you're told to fall in love with the process, right? You probably think, oh, I'm already in love with the process. And you might be. And if you are, that's great. But for some people, I know I'm one of them. Sometimes I'm like, man, do I really want to fall in love with this? Is this for me? And sometimes I say to myself, this is not for me. And that's okay. There are so many things on this earth and so many things that you can conjure up and you can create that you will find something. I know right now it may seem like, man, there's nothing, there's no hobby for me. There's nothing, absolutely nothing. And let's say if you do a hobby, right? But the hobby has a small amount of people in it. Then how about you go out there and make that hobby known, right? For example, Jinxie, big streamer, he started playing Rocket League. He breathed life back into that game just by if a person can somehow if you, I think a great way to breathe life into any hobby or any interest if it has a low amount of people in it or anything, just start making content, make it entertaining. We're going into a world, I don't know if it's good or bad, but we're going into a world where we're shifting away from long form videos. They're still out there, and hopefully they'll continue for a while like this. Um, but if you think about it, YouTube 10 years ago, what was that, 2018? YouTube in 2018, not 2018, YouTube in 2016, 10 years ago, completely different. It was long form content, pretty much there's not even a short around. There's not even a short video around, right? Maybe a short meme, right? But if you look at it today, YouTube has changed. It's fast content. If you notice in YouTube videos, they've cut out a lot. I notice this a lot. That usually is 3 to 4 seconds that a clip is shown and then it cuts to another thing, right? This is what makes the videos addictive. When you watch a video, I want you to think of the editing, just the simple cuts, transitions, music, all that stuff that keeps you interested, right? Because it's entertainment. And I'm not saying entertainment's bad. I'm saying entertainment's good. As a human civilization, we've done this for a while. We have jesters and jokers back in the day during kings and queens. We've had, for a while there, we had concerts, we've had plays, we have had, I guess, literature, poems, all that stuff, right? And it's just moving to content. It's just moving to videos and nice editing style. So if I can recommend this before AI takes over, learn how to edit. But at the same time, learn how to be outside and learn how to survive outside, just in case. You never know what's going to go wrong. Anyways, back to the self improvement culture. I think the self improvement culture is good for motivation sometimes, but I think it should be used sparingly. I think a lot of these people that are telling you to go out and do this, they are already there. They have already achieved what they wanted to achieve, right? And yes, that's good. Influencer influencing people to go out there and do this stuff. But to me, I haven't noticed anyone small. Anyone in this, maybe there are people out there that I haven't noticed yet, but I haven't noticed anyone talking about how that these influencers are already there. And when they influence these people, they get motivation probably for a day or two. Then they go back and they start doing their old habits, right? And so that to me, it's weird when an influencer, famous people, any actor or anyone, when they're talking about psychology, I think that's great. Talking about psychology and motivation in life, I think by them sharing their ideas and their opinions is great. I think everyone should do that. But once they, motivate you, and if it truly does motivate you, then that's great. Use it. But to me, it's a little different. When that, because I know they're coming from a perspective of that they've already achieved what they wanted to achieve. They've already got there. Now maybe they have a new goal that they haven't achieved yet. And some of them uh, change into doing podcasts and into spreading that anything is possible, right? I don't know. It's a weird. It's not a weird concept, but it's a pattern I've noticed for almost every famous person when they give a speech at the Grammys or the Oscars, right? It's that you can do anything you want in this life. You can build anything, you can make anything popular, you can do it. Now, what they don't say, maybe some of them say this, but what they don't say is that it's going to take time. It's going to take sacrifices. I know they say sacrifices, but it's going to take you spending your ultimate currency, which is time, and it's going to suck. You're going to have to go through a lot of, you know, challenges, ups and downs. And if you persevere through it, you will be at the top and you will um, be where they are, I guess. And obviously, having the Lord Jesus with you, if you're religious, having Jesus in your life or having a higher being, Jesus, having God in your life is great. And I think that's number one. It should be Jesus, others, you, right? Joy. That's how I think of it, or that's what I've heard. Anyways, overall, this video has been a lot about a lot of ranting. I know, but it's I just need you I just want everyone. I can't make everyone think about this, but I wish people really took a step back and really kind of think about how the self-improvement culture or the motivational culture or edits is affecting them. Now, obviously, some of it's entertainment purposes, and that's great. But when you're told, I want you to think about this. When you're told fall in love with the process, do you actually fall in love with it? Or do you just like, well, I don't want to, right? And if you don't want to, then you can change it up. I know people in my life that have worked a career for 10 years, then they get bored, and then they go work another one. Now, obviously, that kind of goes against what we're told, right? Growing up and getting a job, and that I don't know why I made that noise there. Anyways, and go to college, get a job, work that job for your life, right? Well, you have the option to change that job. I know it might suck, you might get lower pay, but if you love it, let's say if you work 10 years in, I guess, the car industry or sales industry, if you don't like it and you want to switch it to becoming a pilot or anything really, you can do that. It's life. You can do anything you want. You have free will. So next time, remember this, you have free will. And I hope every single one of you has a good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, and good night. And I hope every single one of you can find peace in your lifetime.